Hello friends, welcome to the Tech with Soft. So these are the some topic which we are going to cover today. So first, what are the Java 8 features? Okay, so in Java 8 features, we know that it's one of the important features in Java development. So some of the features that we are going to cover today, which is a function interface, Lambda expression, predefined function interface that also Java has given, and default static method. So let's start with the function interface ones. What are the functional interface? So function interface is an interface which will having only one abstract method. It cannot be having a more than one abstract method. Let me show you how can we design it. Okay. So first of all, I have to create a one package under this project. So everything will go under the SRC, right? So let me create a new package first, which could be say like com.demo, com.tech with soft. And here I will create a new interface, and I will give a name of that interface like my functional interface, something like that. So if I will create this interface and if I'm keeping the method on it, right, so it could be having only one abstract method, cannot be more than one. That is the one of the definition of the functional interface. We know that interface can have n number of abstract method, but function interface will having only one abstract method. And it is having a one annotation as well, which I can put on the top of it called functional interface. If I will keep it function interface on the top of it, right, that means it will be a functional interface, right? But interface we will write only for the implementation, right? So we have to write one implementation of it. So how to write the implementation of functional interface? That is also one of the important part, right? So the implementation of function interface we can write in the form of lambda expression, right? So you can see here what are the lambda expression. So lambda expression is an implementation of the functional interface, right? Let me make this point too there itself. So these are the definition of functional interface and lambda expression. So if I want to write the implementation of this test method, right, we have to create a new class. So let me create a new class with the like test one, the main method. So if I want to give an implementation of this test method, right, we have to write one class and we can write the implementation of it. Okay. So first we have a write test method. So I will write here first what could be that function interface name. So I will write here my functional interface. It is nothing like an interface name. My equal to here I will give one implementation. So implementation, let me write the syntax first. How do we write lambda expression? First of all, we have to start with the parenthesis. After parenthesis, I will write arrow, and then I will write the body of the method. Okay, under this parenthesis, we can write some argument or parameter. Here we will write some arguments, right? So how many arguments, how many it is that we will look. Right now, the method we created here, right? There is no argument of it. It is a completely blank and it is not returning any value as well. So during writing the lambda expression, we have to take care of that as well. What could be the parameter and what could be the return values, right? So here we are not having any return value, not having any argument. So here I will keep like simple parenthesis and write arrow. Here it is a syntax and then I have to write the body of it. So say, let's say I want to simply display sys out. And I want to write here, welcome to lambda expression, something like that. Welcome to lambda. As simple as that. So now that ready, lambda expression. So lambda expression, as I told you, right, it is an implementation of function interface. So I created one functional interface here, and that is having our method like void test. And this lambda expression is an implementation of the test method, which I created under the my functional interface. So when I will run it, how to run it? It is implementation only, right? If you want to run it, we have to call the method called test. So this will call by the name of that interface itself. So interface reference dot test. Then it will call that particular method. If I will run it, I'm getting here welcome to Lambda. So now the Lambda expression is calling. Yeah, function interface through function interface. So this part which I've written, right, it is an implementation of the functional interface in the form of Lambda expression, right? If it is having a some argument, that time that it will change, right? So this time let me make it one argument here, say like int x, something like that. So this time it is taking one argument. So then lambda expression will not be look like this because it is only the lambda expression which will not having any argument here. So let me comment this. This is for no argument, right? If you are having an argument, right, then we have to pass argument as well here. My functional interface, say my equal to, inside this parenthesis I have to pass one argument here. Let's say I can pass here int of x, and I can use them when I will do that operation. So I can display that if it is required, like that. And during the call of the method, right, previously we were not passing any argument here because this function which we have written the lambda expression, right, that was not taking any argument. So here I will pass some argument here, like say 10. So this time this 10 will directly go to this int x. So x will having a 10, and here it will display that 10, like that. So let me run this once. So here it is a 10. So that way lambda expression does execute. Okay. And if you're having some return values, we can collect the data as well. Let's say, yeah, one more thing let me cover here. If you're having a single argument, right? Yeah. So one more things, let me cover that as well. If it is having some return values, right? Let's say it is having return value like float, something like that, right? So that time, whatever lambda expression I am writing, that should return some values. That should return some values. So here what I will do, I will return direct something like 100.0f. So f is nothing like an indication of this float, right? So this time it is returning the float value, or we can write some calculation as well, right? So here we are writing a single line of a statement in the lambda expression. So that's why we are kissing simple keeping 100.0.f. It could be some expression as well here. So this time if it is written right, it should return some values here at the time of calling. So I will make it here like float result equal to like my test.10, and I can display that as well here. That should be a result. Okay, I will run it. I will get 100.0. So this time I've written the method which is having a return values as well as argument, right? So that will be the way of writing the lambda expression of the function interface. So we have to think, does it taking any argument or does it returning any values? If it is returning any values, we have to store it somewhere. If it is taking any argument, we have to pass some value inside it, and then we have to give an implementation of the test. So lambda expression we can write in two ways. Lambda expression we can write in two ways. One is single line statement, which we were doing here, right? Single line statement. And second, it should having a like multi-line statement as well. If it is having a multi-line statement, right, then what happen? it should be start with a curly braces. Like for example, I'm writing a lambda expression. It should start with this curly braces. Here you can see, right, I am not passing any curly braces because it is a single line statement. Now, if I want to perform any other operation with the multi-line statement, then we have to write this curly braces. So how can we do it? Now let me complete this. Let me comment that first now. And then let me copy the same. So it's many scenario it does happen where we have to pass multi-line statement. So let's say I have like one variable here, and here I have to start the curly braces. And at the end we have to write return statement as well. So let's say I want to calculate some value here, and I have to pass the semicolon here also, right? So I have to pass some values here, or I have to miss the arrow. That's why it is giving error. So here I have to write like some calculation of x, right? Like x equal to some x plus 1. Okay, and let me return this as well here, like x. So this time I made a one x variable, I mean as an argument. So it will receive some values and will do some increment of 1, and then it is returning back to the caller. So here we are passing here my dot test 10, right? So it is going to store under this x, and then going to calculate x plus 1 and then returning the x value. So x will store under this result only. So let me do it. So this time result will be x plus 1 means if I'm passing 10, so that should be 11. So it should be 11.0 because we are returning float, right? So it will convert into float by default. So that's why we are getting 11.0. So that way we have a two type of, different way to write the lambda expression. One is with the body, I mean with multi-line statement that will start with the curly braces, and second one will be the single line statement. So if it is a single line statement, right, then return statement is not required. It is optional. If it is a multi-line statement, then we have to keep that return statement there, right? So this is the one kind of way of writing the lambda expression. Okay. Now we have some predefined lambda expression, predefined function interface as well. That also let me cover here. Okay. Or uh, okay. So how many it is? How many it is? So we have a sum of them. First one is called function. Okay. Like here we created one custom function interface. Same like we can use the predefined function interface as well. Like for example, I have one function interface called function. Okay, so it will take two things, T and R. So if you want to check that, right, you can go with this, click on it. So you will get this complete picture of it because it is added in Java 1.8 onwards, right? So here it is taking two things, T comma R. What is a T? T is a function argument, and R is a written result of this particular, I mean, calculation, whatever we are writing, right? So T is the argument and R is the return values. So that we have to always think on that whenever we are writing predefined functional interface. So T is what? T is a argument. So I will pass here, suppose if it is taking argument like integer or like let's say string type. It is taking string type. What does it return? Let's say return also it is doing some kind of string type. So here I'm saying that I'm making a one function interface that is taking string as an input and a string as a I can say like return values, right? So string str equal to, function str equal to, I will pass here and I will store some string value here, say like str, and here I will pass and I will return like str plus hello. So I'm adding hello with some str or hello plus str, something like that. Let's say hello plus str. So it is an implementation of this. I think in single line statement return is not required, right? It's optional. So we can skip that as well. So here we are passing str. Let me make it why it is giving error. What does it say? Lambda expression parameter its str cannot read or another local variable. Okay, I think that str already we have, right? So let me make it like some name. Okay, and I will keep this name here because we have a same name variable, right? That's why it is giving the error. Okay, so this time str having a string name, and here we having hello and a hello with the name, right? So here I can simply say sysout. Okay. What I want to display here, that str only. So this time str will not work directly. We have to call our function, okay, of this function interface. What is that function name called? Apply. So apply is the one function which is a part of this function. Like here we created a one function, right, called test. So we were calling the test method, right? Same thing. We have a like apply function under this apply method under this function, right? And here we will pass some string. Let's say I'm passing here like Irfan. Okay. Or let me pass here like tag with soft. So if I'm passing a tag with soft, right? So this will pass to name here and then it will call directly hello with the name. So let me run this once. So it is having some error somewhere like that. Okay. It is extra here. Let me remove it. So you can see now I'm getting hello tag with soft, right? So tag with soft will call, will pass under this name, and here it is going hello plus name. So it is a some kind of predefined function interface. Other than that, we have a many like by function, okay, predicate. We will cover that in next session. Okay. Now we are going to cover only one, which is a function. Okay. Other than that, we may write some more kind of things as well here, kind of default and static method as well. Default and static method in interface. So default and static method are the method which will launched in Java 8 onwards, okay, in interface. Okay. So in interface, I can write default and static method. So whenever we are making at a function interface, right, it was having only one abstract method, but with the abstract method, we may write default and static method as well. So let me write here default void, say like test1. But one thing we have to remember, the default method always will have a body. We can't write a default method with the abstract because default method is a method which is optional to override, and that body we do provide under the interface itself. Okay, but whenever we can override as well, right? So here I will pass here like suppose uh, say welcome to default, welcome to default in interface, something like that. Okay, and same we have a like static method as well. So we will write here static, say void, and say like test2, thing like that. And static method also cannot be abstract. So always we have to remember that we have to keep a body of it. And then we can write here like welcome to test2, right? So default and static method are the method which are not be abstract, which cannot be abstract, right? But here they look like a same only, but we should know what are the difference between default and static method. So let me tell you one difference in both of them. Default method are the method which is optional to override. I mean, we can override or we can skip as well. Wherever that static method cannot be overridden at any cost, it will always call from the parent only. It cannot be called from the child, right? So if you want to call it, if you want to make it, override it, right? We have to extend that and implement them and we can override it, right? So let me create a new class for that. If you want to see that complete picture of it. Okay, so let me create a class, say like my test one. Okay, and here I will make implements and I will override implement this my function interface. And what I will do here you can see that, right? It is asking to implement the this one my function interface, right? But we have to override the abstract method. So first we have to override unimplemented method, but it is not asking to override the default method, right? But if you write, we can override it, right? But it is not mandatory. So if you want to write it, default void test like that, I can make it an override on the top of it. So here it should be public, not default, because interface method by default will be public. So I have to make it public here, and I have to use that at override annotation. So this time test one is overridden, right? And if you want to call it, we can call it. So let me write here sys out, which could be say like my test one, my one, test one, something like that. Okay, my test one, let's say my test one. Okay, so here if I will override it, I mean if I will call it, right, we can call here with the child only. So I will keep that reference of the parent my function. Okay, fn1 equal to, here I will create object of the child, which could be new my test one, right? And then here if I will write fn1 dot say like uh, test one only, right? Which is a default method. So this time it will call the child class test one method, not like parent. So it will give me this message my test one instead of that this one. Welcome to the default interface. So if I will run it, can see here I'm getting here my test one, which I have written under the child class only, not like in the parent. But if I will not override it, right? Let's say if I will not override it, right? That time it will call the parent one only. So this time if I will run it, it will give me welcome to the default interface, right? So that's why I'm saying here default interface, if I will, sorry, default method, if I will keep under the interface, it is optional to override. We can override or we can avoid it as well, right? It's not hard and fast tool. We have to override always. A static method, we cannot override. We do not override, okay? Because static always bind with the class itself, right? So we cannot call them by the reference, right? So these is all things that we have covered, which I was showing at beginning, right? What the function interface? It is an interface which having only one abstract method, lambda expression, okay? It is an implementation of the functional interface. Predefined function interface, we have seen function. We have more as well that we'll look later on. Different static method that also we have covered. So these are the some topics which I need to cover and we have finished. Thanks for watching it and thank you so much.